Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Boom Goes the Dynamite. It's our weekly AEW Dynamite show. It's a lovely, well, not lovely. It's a pretty cloudy Wednesday. We got a hurricane heading our direction, but that's all right. We got some wrestling to talk about. We got some news to get into. We got a documentary that we're all watching a little bit at a time.
Right.
First off, it's me, the champion. Greg the Son, Mongo to you, bushwhacking since 92. That's right. I'm the damn thank you. I'm the damn champion for 9 more days? 9 more days?
It's a bad blood. Bad blood.
We're just thankful
for this. We're just thankful for the break that they have given to us. After like the 7 pay-per-views in a row that we had to predict.
Shit has been ridiculous. It's just nonstop. So we've had to get a little creative. On our Thursday shows because we had that shit to predict. What's going on, chat? First off, before we get to that, also joining me, my forever rival, and also our current Are You Fucking Serious quiz champion. He is the final Intercontinental Champion, the final Matty, my forever rival, Matty Reigns. What's up, Matt?
What is up, everybody? I'm here. I will be here for longer than yesterday. I got caught up on the phone, so I ended up just having to just basically cake on the phone for 4 hours. I sat on the phone for 4 hours, even after the podcast. By the time I got off, I was just like, I'm so happy to be off the phone. I was tired, but it's been a good week. Cool. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. And if y'all didn't know, it's also National Quesadilla Day. I only know that because I bought a quesadilla from Chipotle. So they suckered me in with the deal. So that's what I'm eating for dinner. A quesadilla. And just like Napoleon's grandma used to tell him, go in there and go make yourself a quesadilla.
That quesadilla.
Right.
Quesadilla. What's going on, chat? We got Reggie, Cookies, Batty, Kanisha. How y'all doing today? Batty, yeah, the queen of the mat, and
What up, Batty? What up, Cookies? Kanga-dangle-lang. The uncrowned Kanga-dangle-lang.
Hey, we gotta give him something else. Can't call him that anymore. Gotta change that name up to something else.
Diddy got that crown. Cookies.
Eddie called Reggie
crown right over to Diddy. He was like, "You don't need this, my brother, not me."
That's the thing about Cookies, man. Cookies knows when to give up. That man's like, "Hey, take it." Oh,
what's up,
man,
Anisha?
What's going on, Anisha? Hey, all right.
Oh shit, goddamn.
All right,
Mr. Oh shit, goddamn.
All right, I'm gonna ask you, chat. Let me know if y'all have too. Matt, have you seen any episodes of the documentary yet? I know you've been working today, so I don't know if you had time.
I know. Greg was right here in real time before we got on because I was over here thinking I was about to have to pay for some Netflix. I'm like, I don't want to pay for Netflix yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And even then, not yet. I don't want to pay for it. Honestly, I've already told y'all the kicker for me. The only way Netflix is gonna get my money is unless they get what Peacock has. They got to get the rest of that. That is the only way I'm paying for Netflix. Because everything else I got, I don't need Netflix. And even now, I don't need Netflix. Because what's up? First episode of this Vince McMahon documentary, Junior. I don't know what the 3rd episode is called because it's just called episode 3. But I got all the rest of the
title. Yeah, look, I have been very adamant about hating Netflix for a while. Partly because they've been just losing a lot of stuff and still, despite losing content, making you pay more money. But yeah, they get WWE as far as like the pay-per-views, you just pay that monthly fee. But also Netflix taking over and it not being $9.99 anymore for pay-per-views. It's gonna suck.
Because I was even looking at the Netflix plans, and like upper streaming services will let you.
What's going on,
pay
brother?
For the year. Netflix don't.
No.
Oh, really? I'm like, if I could pay for a whole year, I might get it because it's like that's one. I get paid. I'm like, I get paid this week, so I could do that. No, we still want it about a month. I'm like, no, y'all not gonna get it. I'm not gonna.
That can let you take off that month or two off that price. Yeah, you'll pay
Like,
full price.
Man, for
That's
$22,
Netflix.
even if you get the $6.99, they let you share. Like you can still watch stuff on 2 screens. So I'm like, you can still just log in somewhere. Technically,
it really is just like, do you want to have the 4K streaming?
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like for $22, you get 4K, but for $6.99, you just get 1080 HD.
Yeah, like 1080 is fine, man. I don't need
right.
shit. I don't know if it's just because I have bad eyes or something. I can barely tell a difference, really. If we're like on
tell sometimes, like I honestly used to not be able to tell the difference until I got a PS4. And if you have like a 4K television, it does like the screen will do the little blink to switch stuff over. But the rest of the time, like unless it does that screen blink, I'm just watching like HD is HD. Because me and Greg are from the generation where it just looked like it was just ashy. It was just regular. It was standard definition. So high definition to us is just high definition. Like you can't make it any more clear. It's just like video games. Like how much more realistic can they look? They're just it's just a game. Like there's nothing more you can do. You've reached the
at a point you get like those like return. What do they call it? Like residual returns, where it's like you're getting less and less in your value, and it's like really at this point it doesn't matter.
That's literally the 2K franchise.
Price too goddamn high.
That's literally the 2K franchise.
Like, look how realistic this. Like, all right. I mean, is the game good?
Shit. Wet.
Is the game buggy? Okay, well, never mind then, man.
You got VC? Yeah, I'm not buying it.
We're gonna push the card packs. You want the card packs? No, I don't. I don't want the card packs. But we got some stuff to talk about today. Of course, the documentary did drop. I've seen the first 4 episodes. I would have seen the last 2 had I not also been in my own long ass phone call. So I did get to do that, but I'll have caught up by Saturday. We're doing a Saturday delve at noon Eastern Standard Time.
I've been listening to that book. When I talked to y'all this morning, I just got to the steroid trial. Now they started talking about Shawn Michaels. I perked up. I was like, oh, we finally talking about Shawn.
The man himself.
Drug issues. Now we are reaching 1996, 1997. Bret Hart and his contract. So you know what's about to happen.
Do you remember yesterday where we were like, like according to everybody else, like you don't like get anything juicy until episode 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, in episode 1, they talk about the Ring Boys.
Yes.
I was like, oh, they talked about it? Okay. So yeah,
I was telling y'all about that earlier. I'm like, yo, this Ring Boy stuff
is bad.
Is ridiculously bad. Like they went on Phil Donahue and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly that is what the federal government was trying to look into way before the steroids. They just happened to stumble upon the steroids, but because their case was so sloppy with the steroids, even though Vince thought he was going to go to jail, he didn't. But I feel like ever since then, like that's literally been all right. We messed up. We gonna get you back because you're supposed to be behind these bars, buddy. Like if he didn't go to jail, like if they could have, they would have sent him to jail for that the Ring Boy stuff. But because he had like literally no hand in it, he wasn't touching them. It was just the people that was working for him were the people that were doing it. So they were like, we can't take him. Like, we have no case on Vince McMahon.
It was just blatant negligence.
Yeah, it was blatant negligence.
Choosing to not do anything about it. But it was horrible. And like you had told me about it and I'd heard about it before, but I didn't really like know the ins and outs. I knew Pat Patterson was involved. Which in the documentary, they asked Vince about it, and Vince says Pat wasn't involved in that. Pat, Pat, it was a witch hunt.
Pat was super involved because he got fired.
He said Pat, we had to fire Pat because it was a witch hunt because he was gay. Like, Sure.
I was like, they fired Pat. Like I told y'all in the chat, listening to this book, and then I haven't even watched the documentary yet. So like, considering I'm like 75% almost done with this book, and I already know I'm gonna be pretty like just versed in McMahon for a while. Pat Patterson is not the person that we thought he was. Like, no. Like, yeah, he's the first Intercontinental Champion. He's the person that created the Royal Rumble and all that jazz. But that man was a horny, dirty old man at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Just like Vince. Who are the Ring Boys? The Ring Boys, I mean, they were basically like underage ring crew. They like set up the ring. Is that right, Matt? That's how they.
It's Jimmy Garvin. I think Jimmy Garvin. Just basically, he basically just was a predator. He would see young boys like wrestling, and he would see the ones that were really, really cute to him, and he would approach them and be like, "Oh, you want to work? You want to try and work for us? You want to?" They already are like, "I'll do anything. I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of the WWF." So he recruits them, and this kid that he got, I think his name was Tom Cole. He recruited him, and like, just right off the bat, he starts just trying to get at this kid. Boy was only like 14 or 15 years old. This dude had a foot fetish, and I told them in the chat, this dude like to this. The boys would be kind of just sitting there on the couch, and he would like to sit across from them and put his feet and rub his feet up against their junk. That's what he got off on, rubbing up against them. Then he told this boy, this boy Tom Cole, like he got all the way up to like he had an actual job. And it got to the point where he was going to sue the WWF, and his brother told him, like, him and his brother were both going to sue them. They were going to sue them for multi-million, like $3.5 million. The lawyers left Tom Cole and Vince McMahon in the room together. And Vince talked this boy out of suing him because the boy blurted out, "I just want my job back." So instead of getting a multi-million-dollar settlement, he got $55,000 in back pay and his old job back.
Terrible, awful shit. Yeah, exactly.
So basically, like this boy, like Pat Patterson, was probably messing with some of these kids. He was, I don't gonna say he probably was, like, more than likely, there's nobody innocent in this. Vince knew what was going on and tried to play stupid. Like, oh, well, they weren't working for me. You had already, like, one of those people, I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Garvin, he had already fired him. He had got rid of him once before because they had said he liked little kids, like he liked little boys. And then he was like, "Oh no, we got rid of him, but we brought him back because he had said he was better. Like he had got that out of it. He wasn't going to be like that way anymore." And it's like,
he was better. Like, yeah, he just got over his pedophilia.
No. That's why they were going to go to court. But everybody ended up getting away with this. Like the Ring Boys, Tom Cole ended up later. He ends up later committing suicide. Like he ends up just killing himself. The Rita Chatterton lady, she's the first female referee. I already told you the story about her.
Yeah, and they touch on that too. They touch on that too. I mean, I'm sorry, I said it was episode 1. It's episode 2. It's called Heat. Okay. They talk about the Ring Boys. They talk about specifically Mel Phillips, the ring boss. Bret Hart's like, that guy was a pedophile, straight up. That guy was straight up pedophile.
That's his name, the Phillips dude.
Mel Phillips.
Dude, they were like, we got rid of him, and then they said, "Well, we brought him back." And everybody, Bruno Sammartino was like, "That dude likes little boys." Like, what lucky? And Vince, because apparently on Phil Donahue, he even said it, and Vince was like, no, Larry King, and Vince basically like goes on the defensive, like, "So did you see him rape? Did you see him rape these little boys?" He's like, "Well, I heard," and he's like, "You heard? You heard?" So you didn't see it happen. So you going off a hearsay, and it unraveled just like that.
Oh God, it's fucking terrible. So Vince, and Vince
Vince is going to, he ain't going to just hell. he going to like
super hell.
Yeah, like
him and his cronies getting their own ring. They're getting their own circle of hell.
Like it make like Kenny hit the because you had asked in the chat, is this probably why like they're doing such a rewrite of history? And Kenny was like, yeah, probably.
All these records are breaking. Like, yeah, that's because we're not going to talk about these other people anymore. Yeah. So they're talking about Phil Mushnick because Mushnick was the guy that was so adamant that he wanted to get Vince for all this stuff. And so Phil was talking about the Ring Boys scandal, Rita Chatterton, Jimmy Snuka, and Owen Hart and stuff like that. And Vince and Bruce Pritchard in this docuseries try their best to be like, oh, he just had a vendetta against us. That wasn't a real reporter. Like, you bastards, you sick bastards. Standing up for pedophiles, that's what we're doing? That's what y'all are okay with? Jesus Christ.
From what I've heard, Gerald Briscoe is like, he's just kind of just there. I've only heard his name like one time, and it was like just them saying like, oh, he talked to the road agent, Gerald Briscoe. Like, oh, what up, Gerald Briscoe?
Briscoe, like they didn't talk about him in the series at all so far. I'm only on episode 5 now.
He seems pretty clean. He's just kind of just.
Thankfully, we can look back at one stooge with joy, you know,
right.
with them. But and then Tony Atlas was talking about Pat because Meltzer had said that Vince's belief was that Pat was innocent, but he was just wrongfully accused because he was gay. Which, as we've learned over the past 5 or 6 years, with more stories that have come out about Pat, no, he was not innocent. He just happened to be gay, but he was not innocent.
Like, because even when like they brought up in the book when Rita Chatterton shows up there, and she says she's there to ref. Pat Patterson is the person she meets, and he kind of looks at her like, "Bitch, what you here for?" Like, yeah, he was gay, but at the same time, he was a man. And he's looking at her like, we don't have no women refs. What you here for? You must be here to fuck somebody. Who you here for? I'm here to ref. No, you're not. Who says you here to ref? And she had to show him the paperwork from the New York State Commission to be like, I'm here to ref. And he's like, well, I'll be damned. I guess you are here to ref. Let me tell them. And I'm like, damn. Pat, as much as they try to make him seem all happy-go-lucky, nah, you was an asshole. Because in those days, you didn't want to be. They didn't want to even be known. They didn't want to be out. And if you was out, you gonna just basically be just X'd off the map. But because he's under Vince, he can be out and he got power. So you think about that as a gay man, like you are a gay dude in the 70s and 80s, and you like second in command basically of wrestling. And then they try to act like he's super nice.
Yeah, it does make it hard to watch Legends House. I'll tell you that much right now. Cookie says, "Nah, fuck that. As a gay man, I ain't letting any pedophiles make me look bad." And that does seem to be the go-to of people that dislike the LGBTQ community. They just they're all pedo. It's disgusting. It is.
Yeah.
Baddies like love you. Yeah, we love you, brother. And I'm sure that's some shit you've had to deal with, and it sucks. It really does. But we love you, and we're glad you're here. We're glad you're with us. Yeah, it's terrible shit. And Tony Atlas was talking about it, and they asked him, like, do you know anything about Pat Patterson? And he just says, yeah, Pat Patterson used to come in the locker room and grab my dick. And they said, what? And he said, yeah, you walk in the locker room and grab her peckers. And I said, did you tell anybody? And he said, who am I going to tell? He's the booker. He's the second in charge. I can't, like
there is no HR. HR is Vince. And Vince going to fire you. Or just
Vince
ignore you.
Yeah, Vince don't give a shit. If Pat's good for the business, Vince don't give a damn. So, wait, what? Tony Atlas says that Pat Patterson used to just walk in the locker room and just grab their junk. They just laugh about it. And like, that's disgusting, man. That's horrible. That's awful.
I haven't watched it yet, Damien, but from when they were when this documentary first started, when they were in the initial stages of starting this was supposed to be basically a Vince McMahon biography documentary tribute.
Puff piece, essentially.
A fluff piece, basically. Because it was going to be by WWE, and it was going to be the first time and the only time we were going to be able to hear Vince talk about himself. But as the years progressed, and then everything happened, like the pandemic, and then Vince decided to be nasty, they did a complete 180. So now it's probably like we're getting it's basically a mix. Some of the stuff is going to be kind of sugar coated, but a lot of it is just so. That's why I'm listening to the book, because it's what you said. It's 6 episodes. The book is 15 hours long.
Yeah, that book's gonna give you a lot more details.
Yeah, the book is giving me all the details. So when I'm watching this, I can be like, okay, I already know what really happened. I know the details.
But the reason that it feels like that is, like you were saying, most of this was filmed before 2022.
Yeah, it was filmed before he was the nasty man. We knew he was we knew he was nasty. We didn't truly know he was nasty.
You thought they'd go into the controversies more, Snuka and Benoit. They were trying to go from his beginnings to his end. So you only have so much time. Like Matt said, the book is 15 hours, whereas the show
the book goes over Jimmy Snuka. It talks about that.
And they talk about Snuka a smidge in the documentary. It's not much. Like you said yesterday, you got more out of the Snuka stuff and a few other things if you watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
They clearly had to rework it because of Vince's issues.
Yeah.
Where you're getting both sides of each story. And they don't really hammer Vince on most questions because, again, done before this stuff came out. Like in the 4th episode, it says at the beginning, this was filmed before 2024 Vince stepping down. So like we might have got this might be
the clip where it said we tried to reach out to this man and he said no,
peace the fuck out. Yeah.
Right.
Like then he wasn't gonna come back for that. Yeah. And the part that really fucked me, because I knew we weren't gonna discuss that with him. It's just not gonna he's not gonna talk about, because he doesn't believe he does anything wrong. And I think it's episode 4. Again, we'll get into more stuff because we're going to talk about this on Saturday. But I've been taking notes. In episode 4, Vince starts off. They're talking about the Montreal screw job, and Vince says, "I don't have regrets for anything I've ever done. It's all been about business." And this is the same episode because they talk about the Montreal screw job in the first part. The ending of this episode is the Owen Hart death. So in the same episode where they're talking about Owen Hart tragically falling to his death, Vince is saying, "I don't regret anything, and I'm happy with everything worked out."
And I'm right at the part in the book where he's just beat the federal government, and I see why he beat the federal government, because they fucked up from the start. They thought they were going to be able to have a bunch of people testify against Vince. They thought they were going to have his limo driver be able to testify against him to say that he saw Vince have steroids shipped to Nassau Coliseum for Hulk Hogan. The limo driver coincidentally disappeared. They wanted the trial to be put in Connecticut. The trial was put in New York. So a lot of the crimes that they were trying to put on him, they couldn't. They also thought a lot of the wrestlers, like that they were going to get to testify against him, they thought they were going to actually testify against him. But what they later did, what they failed to figure out is wrestlers are going to protect the business more than they're going to protect Vince McMahon. So all the wrestlers basically went together to protect wrestling. They didn't tell on Vince. They didn't say anything. Ultimate Warrior said Vince was a good guy. Hulk Hogan, basically his testimony basically didn't mean anything. It just burnt the bridge. That's all it did. So Vince defeated the federal government because everything fell apart on the federal government's part. And it goes right into Kenny's point. Ever since then, they've been wanting to get Vince McMahon back. And they got him now. And they're not letting him get away. No. This is going to be the quickest open and shut case ever. He better hope he dies before he goes to jail, because he's going to jail.
Yeah, he's going to jail. You don't usually get one over on any government of any country you're in.
Right.
Especially the U.S. government is petty as shit. So him not only winning that case back in the 90s, but bragging about it for the past 30 years was pissing people the fuck off. So there's no getting out of what's about to happen to him. He's done. He's cooked.
Like,
as we said before, he's cooked.
Like, I'm getting right to the part where him and Bret Hart are negotiating. He's already signed his extension with WWF, and now it's, I can't afford you. And everybody is basically telling Bret at this point, we haven't gotten to Survivor Series. They're telling Bret, man, Bret, you doing something that nobody else can do. And you're going to have creative control at the end of your contract. You know how many people would love to have that? And you sitting on top of the world. No, he ain't. Because we're back. We're just climbing up. It's all about the. I haven't even got the Owen Hart yet. I still got like 4 hours left of this book,
bro,
and I haven't even got to Owen Hart.
It's disgusting. Like, because watching Vince talk about Owen, because in the Dark Side of the Ring, we got to see Vince's discuss it in like older interviews. You know, we're seeing him talk about it now. And he's still like, hey, at the end of the day, it wasn't our fault. I was like, you piece of shit. You fucking watching the documentary made me want to drink. It's rough. It's awful. And it's gonna get worse. It
literally shows you between this and the book, it really takes the rose-colored glasses off of what they consider the golden era of WWF, because you are like, now you know, I know what Vincent done now to get to all that, to get to that point. Like Damian brought up, they didn't talk about Snuka. They talk about it in the book. Supposedly, Jimmy Snuka was illiterate. The man didn't know how to read. The man was just a dumbass. But the same day that Vince McMahon had to pay Vince Sr. the money to buy WWF is the same day that the Jimmy Fly Snuka stuff happened with that woman in Pennsylvania. All they said was Vince McMahon showed up with a briefcase to the police station, and the next thing you know, Snuka was free. We don't know what was in the briefcase. We don't know what was said. And because Jimmy Superfly Snuka was illiterate, he don't know what's going on. They had him. He literally said, if Vince put something in front of me to sign, I would sign it because I trusted him. And then you think about all the wrestlers of that time, times that by probably 100. Vince got over on a lot of dumbass people.
Oh yeah, he's a manipulator. He's manipulative for sure. He's a businessman. That's what he does. Before we go on to move other things, I want to say real quick, because I was looking at there's this quote where they're like, what similarities do you share with Mr. McMahon? And Vince says, none whatsoever. And then you see like 5 other people get asked this question, and Shane says, it's an extension of Vince, but blown out of proportion. And then Sean goes, no, that's Vince. Mr. McMahon.
He said that. They brought that up in the book. I'm glad you said that, because he said, I am nothing like Mr. McMahon. If anything, the character that is more like me is Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, the fuck it ain't. Mr. McMahon is just you turned up to 2.
Yeah. honestly,
Like,
Mr. McMahon might be Vince turned down some because I don't think Mr. McMahon
for the longest,
raped
the
anybody.
rumor has always been that the $1 Million Man character is based on Vince, and I love that character. But ever since then, I always kind of have to look at it with a side eye, like, this is supposed to be Vince, low key. And if you think about it, yeah, it is Vince. Vince was Ted DiBiase. Vince was the $1 Million Man. That was him. That's actually him. So for him to be like, oh, Mr. McMahon isn't me. Nah, that is you. Like, you and Ted DiBiase, like, you and the $1 Million Man gimmick, Mr. McMahon and the $1 Million Man are one and the same.
And seeing what happened with Ted DiBiase and his monetary schemes.
Right.
You know.
Out here flying with his boy Brett. Not Bret Hart, Brett Favre.
I was wondering if he's going to also pull the I have Parkinson's.
I have CTE. That's
well, speaking of CTE, now that you bring that up, real quick. So during this documentary, it's in the episode I haven't seen yet, but it's the 5th episode. I saw the clip. They're talking about Benoit. And they're talking about Stone Cold, and Stone Cold hasn't been on this documentary until episode like 4, when they talk about Attitude Era.
Yeah, that's basically when he pops up in the book.
And they're talking about CTE and what it has done. And as we're talking about this, you're seeing like chair shots to the head. You're seeing people getting dropped on their heads and their necks. And Stone Cold, I'm going to try to pull this clip up because it is genuinely one of the stupidest comments I've heard about CTE.
When you told me, I said, all right, this is the Texan, the dumbass Texan coming out of Stone Cold.
I found this is a 50-second clip from the documentary. This might get us flagged on YouTube later, but screw it.
Y'all got to hear this fuckery.
One of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. So here we go.
There's damage, and there's not. We know what we're doing. We don't hurt each other.
His head bounced off that nail like a basketball. I worked for a long time. I got dropped on my head one time. I got concussed there. But other than that, I can't remember having too many concussions in the business of pro wrestling. And my take on that has always been, if you were just wrestling and you got a bunch of concussions, you're probably doing something wrong. I'm not a CTE guy. Just don't believe in it.
Yeah.
That's Chris Nowinski.
Chris Nowinski.
Like, CTE, like there's no question.
Yeah. I don't believe in it. And then Chris Nowinski's like,
you sure about that?
It's like Chris is dumbfounded by the comment. I mean, it's
I'm
just
looking. That's the same way I looked. I'm like, what is going? Because even Stone Cold kind of feels stupid for saying it because he starts scratching his head. Like, I don't know why I just said that. Why did I say that? Did I say that out loud?
CTE. That's the CTE making him talk.
That's the CTE talking. He's scratching his head.
He's like, And then Chris is like,
yeah. I mean, I've seen the slides on Chris Benoit's brain. Like he had CTE. Like there's no question about that.
Chris Nowinski sitting there like, we want your brain, Steve. That right there, y'all, is live CTE. Like I said, the way they edited that, I'm glad they just did that layup of showing Owen Hart, Steve, and Stone Cold, because Stone Cold didn't get concussed in that. Stone Cold got his neck broke. Like, Owen Hart, I got dropped on my head. You got dropped on your head, and that is why we only had 5 moves, Stone Cold.
Yeah.
We had 5 moves, Stone Cold, and with 2 paper clips on his knees for braces. Like, dude, that literally, like, even though it was an unfortunate accident, that literally made you. That is part of the legend of Stone Cold. Owen Hart messed up and dropped you on your head and broke your neck. But guess what? You still came back and did the damn thing.
Yeah. But him just being like, I just don't believe in it.
And
then,
no, that was your
and
neck crack.
And then Chris just like mouth agape going, no, he had CTE. Like, well, you dumb bastard. Yes, he had CTE. What do you mean?
Like Chris
there's like disagreeing with medical shit, which is dumb. And then there's just like ignoring science completely. And it's just ridiculous. He had to be from Texas. He had to be from Texas to say shit like that.
That's why I was just like, this is definitely the West. This is the Texan in him coming out. Like, you know what? Just don't believe it. Because that's honestly just like looking at an older version, an older Matthew McConaughey. He's a Texan that we all love. We all love us some Matty McConaughey. He's the king of us. The king of us, Matts. He's the leader of
that hat right there, baby. Hook him.
Yeah. All right. So that's be like if you heard him say something stupid, you'd be like, no, Max. No, Stone Cold. No.
It would hurt. It would. Hell,
like,
he's stupid.
You don't believe it. It's oh man, you got CTE.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Man, Stone Cold got CTE. Because that's the CTE talking.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And it well, god damn it. Come on, man. You gotta be better than that. You like,
oh man, no, I don't want to hear your podcast.
Yeah, it's like, man. Because before I was like, oh man, listening to him talk, like I kind of miss listening to his podcast. I need to, is he still going? And then I heard that, I was like, I don't need to listen to that podcast.
That's good.
I don't need to listen to that shit.
What else? Like, no one else Stone Cold don't believe it? I don't want to know. We don't want to know. We're good, Steve. We are good.
It's just like, bro, how is any of that make any logical sense? It's just bald. Just shut up and hang out. With the
Stone Cold, I mean, if he gonna be stupid on that, I'll take him being stupid on that. At least he ain't being stupid on like saying stupid stuff about like political stuff or wearing shirts. Yeah, wearing the shirts like Taker.
There's a clip. I think I can't remember who it was. Somebody found it. Maybe Ryan Satin on Twitter clipped it, and it was when Taker's talking about I had to protect kayfabe, so I had to make people think I was crazy, and it shows him backstage while like Stone Cold and Goldust, I think, are playing an arcade cabinet, and you can see Taker roll his eyes like, "Oh, these motherfuckers in their video games." It's like, oh god, Taker. Oh man, another part of Vince was pissed at Eric for stealing his character ideas. Yeah, that's a funny. So, and we're gonna have to get off this and talk about this on Saturday. But there's a part where they're like, so Vince talks about how he stole talent from territories and all this shit, and how it wasn't personal, just business, nothing wrong with it. And then when WCW does it to him, he said, "Oh, that was dirty." He felt hurt by it. It's like, they're doing the same shit you did.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Like, cool. I got to that part where like Vince is still like stupefied that WCW was beating their ass with the people that they used to have. Like Vince is like, how? What are they doing?
When that's exactly what he was doing to other territories. He'd take their top guys, go to their territory with their talent, and then run them out of business. It's like, how are they beating us? They took your playbook.
Right.
Oh, God. But we'll talk more about this on Saturday. Let's move on. Before we talk about NXT, we got some WWE news, kind of, regarding AJ Styles. So AJ Styles' contract apparently is coming up soon, which, Matt, I swear to God, and maybe it's just because of how my brain is now, I kind of got very foggy, but am I crazy, or did we not hear earlier this year that this man like signed a new deal and he was there for 5 years?
Like, I honestly feel like he signed a new deal like a few years ago, and maybe it 5 years and flew by that fast. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was recent. But according to Fightful Select, Styles has been off WWE television for a number of months, leading to many question where he's been as of late. When Fightful asked where last asked, we were told that he's healthy, off television, and enjoying time with his family. He did work the Japan live tour, which we did see, but has been off TV since Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, those within the industry. We weren't drunk.
Okay, all right. So it wasn't this year, but it was recent, and it was
2022.
I guess it was like a 5-year deal, but like, all right. We've not heard if there has been any efforts to re-sign him or if he has plans to move forward. We're working to clear for the status of his contract. Numerous influential names within the industry and some who have worked with Styles believe it is up this year. So AJ Styles could be gone by the end of this year.
Yeah, because he signed in 2022 for a contract that was said to be well over $3 million a year plus bus travel accommodation.
Damian, he did say that, I think. That's the thing is we're like, didn't he recently sign and say it was his last contract? Like, are we nuts? And maybe I'm mixing that up with Bryan Danielson, maybe, but I'm pretty sure he did say that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I guess basically that contract flew by, but he's honestly at 47, he's in the best shape of his life. Like, he on that Randy Orton gas, baby. Him and Randy is swole. And
up.
at 47, I could honestly see him being like, you know what? I could do this 3 more years. Especially now that the older wrestlers, the older wrestlers are finding out about stuff that us as like regular sports fans have been known about. They're finding out about stem cells. So they over here like, oh man, I got stem cell therapy, y'all. Man, my body feel like it's 25 again. That's why Ray's still going.
Look at Ray's knees. Like, those are 25-year-old knees right there on a 50-year-old man.
Like, we need them stem cells because Big E went over there to get some. We need them to get his neck healed.
Big E, come on. Come on, stem cells. Come on. Do it for us. Bring him home.
Like, Peter, why is this not what he had a stroke and then they gave him a stem cell?
Why are we not funding this?
Why are we not funding this?
Yeah. So yeah, AJ, he has been slowing down, and could we see? Because I think people still look at AJ as like he should be a world champion. It's like AJ is damn near 50. AJ is not in the shape he was before, just because like you mentioned him bulking up like Randy. It's because he has to bulk up because he can't do the stuff he was doing before.
He can just do the phenomenal forearm, and he's putting that weight on because he ain't trying to take the brunt of all them flying off the top rope.
Yeah. Like, you might see him do the springboard 450, but you don't see the spiral tap that much.
Yeah.
Him doing that like springboard moonsault into the DDT. Like, it's more, he does more technical shit nowadays. And it's, he's still great, but I think with AJ, as far as like, if you're wanting AJ to be a top world champion somewhere, I think it would involve him going somewhere else.
Yeah. Like going back home to TNA. I would love to see that. That would be a great like storybook ending. The company that basically turned their back on you and you had to go out here and prove to not only them but everybody else that you are the best. And now, what's up, Dolores? Now you can come back there, come back home and be like, I'm back. I know y'all said y'all wanted me here. And honestly, he would be great in that Sting role in TNA, like Sting had.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know, people automatically want to go to AEW. And like, yeah, maybe could.
Yeah, I don't want to. I just don't want to. I feel like he doesn't need to tarnish his legacy, and it ain't like nothing against AEW. It's just like your TNA, WWE. Let's just keep it at that. Just keep it with in New Japan. Like, let's just.
I can see it. I don't know. I think people have these expectations of what they would want him to do there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be. Like, it's
not
like,
if he went there, I would see him basically taking up either Sting's spot or he's Bryan Danielson, in which he's going to do everything but win the world title.
Yeah, maybe maybe get like but like an Ospreay match with AJ. People are going to think a certain thing. It's like AJ cannot hang right now with that. It's nothing again. It's just Father Time beats all of us. You know what I mean? Like,
because even looking back now, it's like, man, AJ's 47. And I'm like, hey, 2016, 2017 seemed like it was yesterday when he was just showing up. And we were like, oh, shit, that's AJ. And now it's like, dang, he been in WWE for a minute.
Even back then, he had slowed down some.
Right.
Like even back then, he wasn't who he was in New Japan or TNA. So and he is able to evolve and adapt, and that's what makes him AJ. But I worry that people, because the trackers of AEW get all weird when someone that like is this high technical or high flying master who is in their 40s or 50s goes there and like, oh, they didn't get to do what you thought they were going to. Like, yeah, because they aged, man. It's
right.
It's like Kenny Omega. Like, Kenny Omega is not, he's out because he has so many injuries because he was so worn down from what he was doing for so long that his last few years we saw him wrestling he wasn't like the best bout machine in like the, whatever in New Japan because he just got older.
Right.
Those styles wear you down. And when you get older, you got to slow down and try different shit. I just want to see AJ more on TV. So I'd be happy wherever he goes. I do want to see him kind of go to TNA one last time because that is like, he is the real heart of TNA, always was.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. I know that. Anybody that watched TNA back in the day, like, it was AJ's place. It was AJ's home. It was a house that AJ Styles built.
Right.
That's not like, he says it about SmackDown, but TNA was his home. So, but again, it goes to the idea of like, if you leave a WWE and go to TNA, that's just like an extra long trip to go to NXT now.
Right.
Really. So, it's a very different thing we're dealing with here. But we'll have to just wait and see. I think it's more like it's a Bobby Lashley situation. We're like, is he going to win the world title in WWE? No,
nope,
not again. And he was a great WWE champion, but like, we're past that point. It's just not going to happen anymore. So if you want to see that, he'd have to go somewhere else. Let's talk about NXT, Matt. Our favorite show of the week,
right.
NXT. The last NXT of the USA Network started off with your baby Kalani Jordan.
Yes, my baby.
And Matt, she's got some new interesting offense that I don't know if she just hasn't done it every match, but she is adding she did this like forward handspring and then twisted in midair into like a back elbow. And it was smooth.
She just come out with all her little Power Ranger moves now.
Oh shit. Okay, that was neat. That's what I love about, when you bring in these people that come from other sports and they like want you to implement the shit that you did. But it's not the handspring tiger press shit into the corner that we always see.
Right.
That everyone's like, oh, it's the girl move or whatever. Like, she added a lot of unique things this match. And like, man, that moveset is really starting to fill out.
That's why, hey, I was there from day one. I know my baby need work on the promo skills, but we gonna get there because the wrestling is top notch.
She's there, yeah, man. It's
shout out Ren St. Clair for taking that ass whooping.
Ren. Girl Ren. Oh my God, she got her ass beat. She had a few moments, but it was mostly just about her being excited and hyped.
Right.
And but Kalani, you know, put that work on her. And it was just a good little opening thing. We had like this press conference throughout the show. It was pointless. We're not really going to get into it.
Yeah, they were so pointless.
CM Punk met up with Javon Evans and Trick, and Matt's idea that Punk's going to be running NXT one day seems to be getting closer and closer to coming to fruition.
Phil is about to be my new boss, apparently. HBK gave me no notice. He just like, hey, I'm gone. Take me with you. He's like, nah, you can show him how things work around here.
Because this would be, what, 3 weeks in a row with Punk on NXT? Last week, this week, and next week?
Shut up. Last week, this week, he gonna be that special guest referee tomorrow. Next week, he probably gonna be, Randy gonna be there in St. Louis, but I wouldn't be shocked if Punk show up too.
Especially if we get a new champion next Tuesday. You know, like Ethan Page might try to talk some shit to Punk or something, but then this will be after the Hell in a Cell match. Maybe not.
Oh, yeah, true.
Punk talks to Trick and Ethan both. He's like, hey, I'm going to call it down the middle. No cheating. He was Trick and he says, hey, no cheating from Ethan. No cheating from you. You're probably not going to cheat, but I'm just going to say it, you know. I'm not going to let shit slide. Why is that still up? There we go. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory met Fraxium. Grayson Waller called Axiom a Power Ranger, so that's how we know Matt's on the writing staff.
Hey, that's my Power Ranger. I like Power Rangers though. So somebody called them on Twitter. There was like they tried to troll. I guess they thought they were gonna like just troll Fraxium. They were like, "Oh, Kurt Cobain and the Power Ranger," and he was like, Nathan Frazier retweet like quote tweeted them was like, "You thought that was an insult? You called me Kurt Cobain? I'll take that." I'm like, "Yeah, that ain't bad."
Yeah. Now, if you call him Megamind, you know, it might have a different.
Now I'm about to call. Yeah, they definitely. I'm like, yeah, that's how y'all gonna make me like them. They gonna be Kurt Cobain and the Power Ranger. All right, smells like Power Ranger. Yeah,
smells like Power Ranger.
Smells like Power Ranger, baby.
Smells like morphin' time.
Right.
Later on, we see Theory and Waller take on Javon and Sid, and Javon got.
As soon as that match came, I was like, oh.
I need to look back at Javon Evans' win-loss record, because he's taken a lot of L's, isn't he? Am I crazy?
He won like 2 weeks ago or last week, and I just started him this week because I'm like, oh, they ain't gonna do nothing. And they're like, oh, we're gonna have a match against A-Town Down. I'm like, oh, A-Town Down gotta win because they got the tag title shot in St. Louis, so they got to make them look legitimate before they can actually fight. Oh, why y'all making?
I'm sorry. They did beat Nick Quarter Catch Crew.
Yep.
Last week.
I'm like, why are y'all making him fight a second week? As soon as I saw that matchup, I'm like, oh, they about to lose.
Yeah.
All because they want A-Town Down to look legit. I'm like, y'all, A-Town Down low key needs to stay there. They need to stay in NXT.
Yeah, both those guys might have got caught up at the wrong time. So Theory for sure. Theory was up there way too early. That motherfucker was there like before the pandemic. He did not need to be there. The crowd does love them some Javon Evans though, because that's interesting. Let's get, and then they all went bouncy. Like crowd loves them some Javon. We also saw Hank and Tank take on the OC, the Good Brothers.
And whoop that ass.
Look at Hank and Tank, man. Honk, honk, baby. This is a pro Hank and Tank podcast for sure.
Great.
And then your boy Lexus King met up with Oro Mensah. He's like, hey, you know what? My dad would want me to be the bigger man. I don't know, but he said, I don't know about your dad. I know you and your dad have problems, and I'm not trying to start anything. They dapped up, and like, hey, meet you in the ring. The best man win. And he goes to cheat, and he stops himself. He's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cheat. We're going to have a fair and square match. And then Oro rolls his ass up and uses the ropes.
You just saw me just pop up out of nowhere in the chat. Like, man, fuck Reverse Kofi. I already been like, I don't care for Oro Mensah. The only people that were good, and he is the ass of Metaphor. Only like Noam Dar and Lash. I just got on the Jakar Jackson train. That's Reggie. Reggie love him some Jakar Jackson. I'm more. I've been on the Lash. I like lashing them. So this man is gonna pull up and cheat. He gonna cheat on the King. It's all right. Yes, he is Reverse Kofi. Because remember when Kofi was Jamaican, and then he slipped up and was just talking like he talked now, and then they were like, "Oh, all right." And Triple H said, "Wait, aren't you Jamaican?" And he said, "Yeah." Remember, Oro was talking like me, and then out of nowhere, he is now Oro Mensah. Reverse Kofi. Reverse Kofi. That is Reverse Kofi.
Oro Mensah, the former NXT title contender, Oro Mensah. But yeah, Lexus says, "No, I'm not going to win that way."
He finally pinned somebody that wasn't Ethan Page, and it was an official match, but he had to cheat.
So what's going on with Lexus, man? What are you about to do? Is this a double turn, or is this just like?
I think so. I guess they have finally seen. Everybody's seeing what I've been seeing. That Lexus King that's that dude. That's that dude. Now they're like, oh, we Lexus King. I was already here before y'all. I'm letting everybody on the bandwagon. Join the Lexus King. Join the kingdom. Join the kingdom.
Hey, even CM Punk last week, the first NXT name he mentioned, Lexus King.
That's how you know me and Phil about to get along in his NXT. He over here, what? Lexus King about to be over. Psych. Psych. You saw how quick I said something. No.
Smart.
He might be a future North American champion, but he ain't beat no over.
We're gonna get Miz. We're gonna get Miz TV next week. To deal with Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi. Little contract.
He is somebody that need to be a future NXT commissioner, whatever Ava doing, whatever HBK doing. He's somebody that need to be that too. Miz.
In the last 2K game, you know, Miz is like the SmackDown GM.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a SmackDown GM. Like, you know what? That's a good spot for Miz. That's a good spot for Miz. When Miz stops wrestling, he's absolutely going to be a GM for some brand. It's going to happen.
Right.
He's going to host a thing with Oba and Tony next week. We then see Ridge Holland and Riley Osborne. And you know what, Riley? I mean, you got beat, but you're not dead.
Right.
He starts off hot, flying all over the place, trying to take out Ridge. Ridge just hits him with a nasty clothesline and then spikes him. And then he takes him to the floor, throws him into the steps, and he picks up a piece of barricade that was broken earlier in the match. And he's going to crash it onto Riley. But Riley gets up, super kicks him, and then Thea gets in his face as security breaks it up. Thea was this close to hitting Ridge by herself.
Sean, give him the match. Let him fight. I wouldn't mind seeing Ridge fight the girl that reminded him of his daughter. Whoop his ass, Thea.
Whoop his ass, Thea. It's time. Sean, book it, you coward. Book it.
Let them fight in the parking lot, because then she can get a gun. That's when you know I'm right.
He run his ass over.
He gets shot. It's gonna be TNA Impact, baby. We're gonna bring TNA Death over to NXT.
Beat his ass, Thea. I want to play the whole, well, not the whole thing. We don't have a lot of time. So we had Wesley and Zachary Wentz have a segment, and they spent the whole segment running through.
They gave the USA Censors a workout.
Mm-hmm. They damn sure did, calling each other a bitch, saying fuck every other sentence.
Over here like, I know it's the last night, but damn.
They set up they set it up for like the next segment, and then what they did was they did it during the commercial break. So I guess maybe the crowd saw it, but Wes is like, "Hey, he can't hear me yet, can he?" And Wes goes, "Yeah, I can hear you, little bitch."
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Wes goes, hey, fuck you. They just kept going.
I know I said I wanted to see somebody go at each other like Seth and Riddle, but damn.
Wes said, "I'm gonna fuck you up," and something about Gigi, his fiance.
Yeah, then Wes Zach went, oh, like, hey, don't you mention her?
Keep my fiance's name out your fucking mouth. Hit him with the Will Smith. 2-3 years late, of course. WWE finger always on the pulse.
HBK just catching it.
Keep my fiance's
name.
Wentz
and Wes, they the ones that probably want to do that shit.
Oh, absolutely. Right, that's definitely them. That's definitely them. They got told they could say whatever they wanted. So that happened. We're gonna see their match. Was it next week? I think it's either next week or the week after. And considering Wes lost the first time, he's probably gonna win here. I would like to see the final match happen in TNA.
Yeah, that would be great.
He talks about he asked once how Trey is. And he said, "Oh, you flew to Ohio to attack your own brother, you little bitch, you fucking bitch." I was like, Jesus Christ.
USA censors are like, man, y'all hope y'all know y'all going to network television next week. Y'all can't be saying all this.
it's like every now and then you hear someone say "fuck" on AEW. It's like they get one
every time. I mean, wow, say that.
Yeah, you get like one or two on TV like that on cable or network TV, because I know like on Chucky they'll do it and like you get one.
Yeah, them one. Too. Like it's always some show. It'll be a show after wrestling, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, fuck this show." They're like, "Oh fuck, yo, you can't say that. I can't say that." Like I'm in my house. You can't say "fuck" in my house. Y'all can't be saying that on regular TV.
It was an interesting segment. It was pretty great. The last segment of the night is Julia and Roxanne. I told Matt I got so many memeable moments from Julia alone.
That segment was so like it was nothing, but for the memes, it was everything. It honestly didn't get interesting until Stephanie Burker just popped up out of nowhere because I was like, I was waiting on you. But I didn't think you was gonna be the third woman in this. I had her.
We were thinking her.
My baby. That's who.
Yeah, we thought Kalani.
My baby.
Yeah.
And no, I don't know who gonna defeat my baby now because it ain't about to be Stephanie. Because Stephanie said, "I want y'all." Oh
yeah. I don't.
What a twist!
No. I don't know who it's going to be, Matt.
This
I really don't know.
Now, HBK has thrown me out of the loop now because I thought, Stephanie Burker gonna pop up.
I know who it's going to be.
I hope it ain't that Delta chick.
No. But it's gonna be your girl, the one that's with Fallon and JC.
Jasmine Nix.
Jasmine Nix. Yeah. Jasmine Nix getting that belt.
Oh, we also saw we already got it confirmed now. My stable is debuting next week, y'all. Maddie's Angels, Lola Vice, Miss Parker, Maddie's Angels.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all
We are getting Maddie's Angels.
You didn't think y'all thought I did right for NXT. Guess what? My two favorites are in a team. Wait till Kalani join them. Then they really gonna be Maddie's Angels. Wait till Kalani join them for a 6-women tag. Oh yeah, I'll be out here like, they're gonna be, hello, Maddie. Hello, my angels.
There you go.
Vince had
telling you, Reggie.
I got my angels like Charlie.
I'm telling you, Reggie, we're getting that third match. They ain't gonna end it next time. It's happening.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Definitely.
Perfect timing.
Right.
But yeah, so Julia just kept having all these amazing faces. I saved like 7 different, and I sent them all to Matt in the chat. I was like, these are gonna be great meme potential.
I there drawing doodles. I started looking at him the whole time after you said that. I kept looking at him saying, I'm like, he is right. This man is not right. Nothing. This drawing. I was like, what's he out here? He's my translator. I like, yeah, the first time y'all said that, the girl just came out speaking English. So now y'all want to make him, y'all put him to work this week trying to translate everything. But then y'all put subtitles up for us. I'm like, how y'all know what she said already? If this supposed to be like live.
It's funny because like she spoke for like 5 minutes, and then Funaki spoke, and they had the subtitles for him for 30 seconds. Like, I feel like you've missed something. I feel like something got left out of translation, you know? But it like they're like Roxanne says something about Julia, and Julia just goes, like, she has great facials, you know, she's really great at selling with her face. She's very funny. There's a point where Roxanne says something stupid and she grabs a mic and she just goes, like, she's funny. She's funny. And after they get done talking, Byron Saxon's there because they're taking questions from media, and all of a sudden you hear what's going to happen when the match is over. And Byron Saxon goes, can media not ask any questions until I'm ready? And then it happens again. And goes, what is that? And then the camera turns and Stephanie Vaquer is on the screen.
Right. Oh. I mean, I was waiting on you, but you're challenging the wrong person. You're supposed to be challenging my baby.
So this means, Matt. This means, Matt, she's gonna be Jasmine next. This means we're getting either Roxanne beating Julia and then facing Stephanie, or Julia beating Roxanne and then Julia taking on Stephanie.
Like,
either way, banger matches.
Yeah, like
great matches.
They're keeping that top tier of the women's division.
Oh, Reggie.
That's
what I'm talking about, Reggie. That's my girl. Tasha? That's what I'm talking about. Let Tasha show up and win that belt.
I'll take Tasha, my girl Tasha versus Kalani.
Tasha Steele?
I love Kalani, but I know it's her time. Like, I was honestly waiting to see who was going to walk out there and challenge her after she won her match. Then nothing happened. Then she was sitting at the press conference and nothing happened. I'm like, look, baby, come here. You about to lose. You are about to lose. Some way, somehow, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, you about to be beltless. You and Mello about to be having matching naked waists.
Yeah, so that was the end of NXT. The last thing we see from NXT is Roxanne and Julia, and then the picture of Stephanie Vaquer. Like, that's a great end. That's a great ending to the entire USA Network run.
Right. The female. This will be the women's Punk DB Cena.
Yeah. Mike and Kenny gonna lose their shit when Stephanie turns around.
I'm gonna lose. I already seen it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to censor some words. I'm gonna have to grab my own little censor to like mute y'all.
She has a great pinata. That's all I'm gonna say. She has a great pinata.
Yes, she does. Let's get into Dynamite, or sorry, not Dynamite, Grand Slam.
Grand Slam, because they outside.
Yeah, we got Grand Slam tonight.
They are so lucky it decided to get cold. It decided
just
to
in
get cold. Right.
So yeah, they're instead of it being this week and next week, it's going to be tonight and then Collision, which they might have done last year. They might have done last year when they had Collision starting out. But definitely this year it's going to be Dynamite tonight and then Collision on Saturday. So we have the entire card for both shows.
Cool.
So we're going to run this down real quick. This 3-way is going to be sick. This is going to be a Lucha Libre 3-way. The Beast Mortos, our boy Black Taurus.
Oh yeah.
Taking on Hologram. Taking on Dralistico. So that's going to be great. I don't know when. I'm trying to figure out which, because they have this divided up like some things on the left, some are on the right, and then some take up the whole middle section. So I guess we're trying to figure out what's on what. Maybe Collision's on the right. We're gonna have the Saraya Rules match. Saraya and Jamie Hayter.
Ass.
Someone's gonna. I mean, hey, at least Jamie Hayter's back. I guess. Let's have her. She can wrap this shit up.
Right up this match because it ain't Saraya. I don't care about her.
Yeah, she can wrap this fucking rivalry up and move on to something better. That's what we're all waiting on. Okada versus Sammy Guevara for the Continental Championship. No, sorry. It's a Continental Championship eliminator.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, not as cool.
Sammy might win, though.
He might win.
Sammy might win.
I think there's a stat that's like 92% of the time the eliminator match is won by the champion. It's like, well, then what's the point of the eliminator match?
Great. Like, give us something up that on Grand Slam. Like, oh, Sammy won. Yeah, all right. Now he can lose. Now he can lose on Collision.
We got Jeff Jarrett and Hangman Page in the Lumberjack strap match. The lumber strap match.
What's gonna happen in that? Sorry, my middle name. You gonna die. JARRETT about to be DEAD.
Yeah, JEFF gonna be gone. It's gonna GONE.
Right. And it ain't gonna be the HARDY. It's the wrong Jeff.
What's Vince says like the GOONNE gone. Yeah. Jeff, good luck, brother. Good luck.
Mr. McMahon wasn't him. I knew that was Vince. I was like, oh, I already know you don't like Jeff Jarrett.
That's some of the Vince's shit I ever heard.
Like, you didn't like him as Intercontinental Champion. I know you are not hiring this man for WCW.
I know. I said we're talking about it, and we're not going to talk about it now. But goddamn, when they were talking about Owen Hart, and like immediately after they knew he was dead, they pushed Jeff Jarrett out there to do a promo and a match.
Oh goodness!
Damn, no wonder he is so. That's still such a thing for him.
Yeah,
because they were like best friends. And the second they cart his body back there, Jarrett has to cut a promo with Deborah talking about her puppies because that was what his feud was.
Right.
And then have a match. Like, Jesus Christ. That had to, I can't even begin to imagine what he was going through. I'm carrying that life insurance policy paid up. Jack Perry with the TNT Championship Open Challenge. I don't really care about that, to be honest. I know you're gonna love this match. A tornado trios match. The Conglomeration.
Okay.
Versus the Learning Tree.
Oh damn.
You're like, maybe. No.
All right. I was like, okay, Conglomeration. So you said the Learning, nope.
Yeah. That's a real boner killer, isn't it? Just like
it's Chris Jericho. Like, oh,
it's like OC, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly. Hell yeah, Jarrett. Fuck.
All right. Oh, damn.
And it sucks because Big Bill and God, I just forgot
Brian
his name.
Keith.
Brian Keith, the bounty hunter. Yeah, great talents, man. Just
Right. They just stuck with Jericho.
they're stuck with them. Yeah. The FTW Championship, not an eliminator. The FTW Championship. Hook defends against Roderick Strong.
Oh, Roddy is so not winning.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun.
That belt.
They do. They need to move on from that thing. Prince Nana provides an update on Swerve Strickland.
He's still dead.
After he's still dead.
He's
still dead. His other house got burned down. You know, it's
He's still in the hospital, y'all.
I forgot how bad Hangman fucked him up. Like Jesus, it was nasty.
Like, every time I'm like, that's the update. He's still dead. If I'm here having to give y'all an update, he's still dead. That's all y'all need to know.
Let Swerve sit at home for like 3 months. Let him, because you know he's been hurting. He's carried that company for the past like 10 months. Let him rest. Let him rest. Mariah May defends against Yuka Sakazaki. And I think we're supposed to see Mina Shirakawa this week.
That's what everybody gonna be waiting on. They're gonna be waiting to see Mina.
My baby, my girl Mina. Oh, everyone, yeah. I think it was Mariah who like shared a clip of Mina over in Japan. She was up on the rope holding someone's arm, but doing like a springboard arm drag, and she started shaking her ass.
Oh,
they said, oh, Mariah May or Mina Shirakawa throwing ass on the top rope. Nobody's better. Nobody's better. Oh my God.
You know what she got, and she don't be ashamed to flaunt
it. hey, good for her. Good for us. Good for the world. We got the Young Bucks defending against Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. So this is where Kyle Fletcher turns on Will Ospreay.
Right.
Because they ain't beating them for the tag titles.
Kyle Fletcher ain't winning nothing.
No.
He don't get to have belts.
Where the hell is Kyle Fletcher's tag partner? I know he's injured, but is he still injured? Is he still hurt?
Because every time I hear Kyle Fletcher, I immediately be like, oh, that's an L. He ain't winning.
Mark Davis. Regardless. Let's see. Davis suffered a wrist injury and will be out of action. That was October 1st last year.
Well, damn.
A wrist injury that kept him out over a year?
They must have amputated his damn hand.
Jesus Christ, man. Boo learning injury. Throwing ass on top? Yeah, throwing ass on top, baby.
Throwing ass on the top.
That's a champion we can all get behind. Sorry, I've been drinking. We got Darby's AEW World Title shot is on the line. Darby Allin against Jon Moxley.
Oh, that's got to be the main event.
Because, you know, Bryan Danielson wasn't going to defend the title of this show. He's too hurt.
He's too hurt also for today. But he could be cleared for Collision.
Also, Bryan Danielson is going to face Nigel McGuinness. It's like, can he wrestle or can he not wrestle?
Not for this time period. He's cleared for the semi-main event or Collision. They better put that on Collision. And if it's me, I'm like, hey, he couldn't get cleared. But even then, I'm like, hey, Jon Moxley beat his ass on Saturday.
Yeah, it better. I swear to God, if we get both of those matches tonight, it's not going to make any goddamn sense.
It really isn't. Like, they better say, oh, he still hasn't been cleared, and then they better make it. Tony Khan, if you haven't done that, I'm going to give you free game. Hey, Tony, he ain't been cleared for tonight. We'll give y'all the update going into Collision. Then it'd be like, breaking news. Bryan Danielson has been cleared to compete against Nigel McGuinness tonight on Collision. And if y'all want to be, honestly, I wouldn't even let that main event Collision. I would let that open Collision. Get people to tune in.
Let Bryan win and then get his ass beat again.
Right.
But honestly, Matt, pretty damn stacked card.
Yeah, they're doing their mini pay-per-view. Yeah. Just spreading it through 2 days. This is WrestleMania night 1. This is SummerSlam night 1. This is SummerSlam night 2. We're in 2025.
there's like 12 segments outside of like 3. I'm very excited. So like 75% of this card I'm really into, which is that's a good number. That's a good number.
You can at least watch the entrance of the conglomeration. And like if you hear Judas, you can just turn off.
Yeah. I guess with Jack Perry, I'll see who shows up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we can just let Bobby Lashley show up and kill him and move on.
Yeah.
Probably not. But I think, is there anything else you want to talk about today?
Oh no, that should be everything. We got tomorrow's show, the main show. So we'll be on then at 9-ish. Heavy on the ish.
Right. But just in case you think you might be forgetful, if you don't want to write it down, what you can do is go to facebook.com/undertheringpod and twitch.tv/undertheringpod. You go to either one of those, give us a like, give us a follow. That way you'll get a notification whenever we go live. We go live Monday through Thursday, sometimes Saturday, like this Saturday when we discuss the Vince McMahon docuseries. And trust me, you're going to want to be there for that. And the games that are happening at noon on Saturday aren't that big of a deal. You can skip them.
Fed don't play until the night.
Like we had Texas and Oklahoma, or Texas and Georgia. That's that night,
We play Michigan State. This is going to be murder at night. This is going to be, it's not even going to be a game.
So y'all can just tune into us for the first hour of that
right.
football day. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss what happens tonight, any more news, and then we're also going to see Matt. I'm sorry, but he got to defend again 2 weeks in a row.
Hey, I'm all for it, baby, because it's trivia. And who knows more useless wrestling trivia than me? But I like it in this format. It's Jeopardy. It makes it even for everybody. And I like it. So I might lose. Or I might just continue my reign. That just gives me ammunition to come up with a new gimmick for tomorrow. Or I might just debut that Matty Bradshaw Layfield. I get money. I get money. I.
Shit, send me the song you want to use, then I'll put it up. I'll give you some interesting music. Making me choose between the Saturday podcast and the Circle City Classic. Hey, man, look. Yes. Yes, we are. Good night, Kanisha. Good night, everybody. Jeopardy, baby. I love that shit. Thank you, Cookies. Yeah, that's what we're going to do going forward is Jeopardy. It's a lot better format than what we've been doing. You can find us at all of our links, of course, at linktree.com/undertheringpod and fingertip.com/undertheringpod. You go to either one of those, you're going to find us at our individual links. I am at Greg Bush SK. You're going to go there and see all of my articles, all of my tweets about things that I probably shouldn't be talking about because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You can find Kenny Horowitz at RockRibs44. You can find the teacher man, Mike Jones at Mr. Freshbeard. Your current Are You Fucking Serious quiz champion for now, Maddie Reigns at The Right Answer. Our street team captain, the Tito Flair himself at Borea Maliente. And last but not least, our good friend and local news correspondent, Justin D. Baxley. Actually, not last but not least, I didn't give myself the proper credit because I am your current predictions champion for 9 more days. 9 more days, and then I have to lose that shit. Again, probably to Tito. Maybe to Matt. Matt or Tito. Or Mike. Not Kenny, because that man has bad luck.
Yeah,
until what time Saturday? Noon. Noon Saturday. That's when we're doing that shit. But until then, good night, folks. Have a great Wednesday night. Watch you some wrestling. Watch you some Vince tomfoolery on Netflix.
Sweet. Whatever y'all do, y'all better do
the Don.
The Don. Hey, do the Don, y'all. I'm going to defend my title again. I'm going to win again. Saying it now.
We'll see. We'll have to find out. Peace.
Yeah, shout out Frank Thomas.